Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos. So yesterday Manchester United beaten Partizan Belgrade by 3 goals to 0 at Old Trafford to qualify for the knockout stages of the Europa League over 2 games to spare. The goals were from Mason Greenwood. He scored the first goal. That's his third senior goal this season for Manchester United. It was Rashford who provided the assist. It was actually no fortuitous pass from Marcus Rashford because his actual pass was intended for Juan Mata, but it actually just fell to Mason Green. But Mason Greenwood, I'll praise him, he showed excellent composure and it was a great finisher from him, and that was 1-0. The second goal was from Anthony Martial. That's now his 53rd goal for Manchester United. His goal was absolutely fantastic, the way he turned them defenders, and that was 2-0. And, we was 2-0 up at half time. And then the third goal came just like a couple of minutes into the second half from Marcus Rashford. That's also his 53rd goal for Manchester United. And Ashley Young had got the assist. But now I'll give my perception of what I thought of the game. I think that's the best performance I've seen at Old Trafford for quite some time. We showed a lot of tenacity. We also created a lot of chances, especially in the first half. Obviously our fullbacks bombarded forward. I think we also looked pretty good in that midfield. I also thought Juan Mata had a pretty decent game, and now there is quite a few Manchester United fans demanding, for Juan Mata, to play more, play on a regular basis more in the Premier League. Some Man United fans believe that Fred McTominay, still needs to improve, and I probably will agree maybe on some of what they're saying. Maybe some of their some aspects of their game do need to improve. But I think McTominay has done really well this season for Manchester United, and he has been a first team regular, and he has deserved to keep his place in the team. He obviously went off injured in the game by the way, but I don't know how severe the injury is yet, but I think Solskjaer is hopeful that McTominay can be available for Sunday against Brighton. But like I said, I've got the same perceptions in McTominay and Fred. I don't know, if they are the long-term solutions for Man United. But recently, they have done really well. But with Marcus Rashford, like I said, he's rejuvenated himself recently. And I know for the majority of this season, I have been criticising him because for the vast majority of this season, he has been really poor. But, I think recently, he has really stepped up to the plate as Rashford. And, like I said, even during his long bad spell, I still said at that point he's the long-term solution for Manchester United. And he's only 22 years of age. Like I said, with Anthony Martial, since he's recovered from injury, he's already scored 3 goals. But initially, he enjoyed a good start to the season anyway. Before he sustained that thigh injury. So I have been very impressed with him. Some people believe that Mason Greenwood will end up overcoming Marcus Rashford in time to come. Obviously Mason Greenwood is only 18 years of age. He only turned 18 years of age last month. Don't forget. But like I said, I think he will become a fruition at Manchester United. Definitely. I think by the time he's 23, 24 years of age, he will be a world class centre forward. Will Mason Greenwood. But yeah, there was a lot of good individual performances. Yesterday and that. I thought the performance was totally comparison to the Bournemouth game last weekend when we lost 1-0. So it was actually a good reaction from the players in that. So I will take that into account. But yeah, so hopefully now, we can beat Brighton on Sunday. I think Solskjaer, is actually, convinced, that we can, demolish Brighton on Sunday and that. But it's like one step forward, two steps back with Man United, because obviously, don't forget, prior to the defeat against Bournemouth, we had 3 matches where we won. We won 3 matches on the trot, and we had 4 good games. We got a decent point off Liverpool. We're the only team this season, to take many points from Liverpool. We also beat Partizan Belgrade 1-0 away from home. We also beat Norwich away from home. And analysing that, I've got to say it's the best performance in the Premier League this season. I could probably say that, the game yesterday was arguably a better performance than Norwich, but I'd say in the league, Norwich is the best performance. And we beat Chelsea in the Carabao Cup by 2 goals to 1, and that was also another very good performance by Manchester United. Surprisingly, Solskjaer stuck with a 4-2-3-1 formation yesterday in that. Obviously, for the vast majority of this season, Solskjaer has been going over that 4-2-3-1 formation. We know mainly for the majority of this season it hasn't been working, but obviously during that 4-game period, Solskjaer was trying a few different elements. He obviously went with 3 at the back, and that system actually seemed to be working. But, reflecting on this result and that, like I've said, it doesn't really change my perception regarding Solskjaer. And I still don't think he is the long-term future for Manchester United. I think Solskjaer believes still, he's the right manager to elevate Manchester United forward. And I think, Ed Woodward does definitely agree with him on that aspect. Ed Woodward, 100% insists that he's backing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Don't forget, recently Ed Woodward had given the sack verdict to Solskjaer, and has assured that his job is safe anywhere for at least now. But Solskjaer, for me, definitely not a long-term solution for Manchester United and that. But yeah, we did really, really well yesterday. So I did say, I think it's the only route for us, to get into the Champions League, is by obviously, progressing in the Europa League, because obviously, we are 10 points behind top 4, and it's obviously, going to be extremely difficult for us now to get into that top 4. We are 10 firm in the Premier League. We are 10 firm in the Premier League. We are around... We have 10 points behind top 4, with 18 points behind Liverpool, with around 3 or 4 points above relegation. So you could quite frankly say at the moment we are facing them relegation battle. But I've actually fully disregarded the top 4. It's going to be extremely difficult for us now to get that, because I did say at the start of this season that our expectations this season will be to finish in that top 4. So in that aspect, we can get back into the Champions League. And I think anyway our aspirations will be that top 4 in the next couple of seasons, because obviously if it's on this result, I'm not saying Man United are back, and I'm not obviously going to say we are obviously title contenders, because obviously we're not going to be title contenders, for quite a while. And obviously, I did confirm at the start of this season, despite the 3 signings that recommended into the squad during the summer, I still said, we won't win the league this season. We won't mount any kind of title challenge up, because obviously, it's going to take a long rebuilding process. And he also added into the equation that, we need to see a variety of changes at Manchester United. I think, we need the coaching staff aren't good enough. I don't think Solskjaer's good enough. I still think there's certain players here that are no longer, good enough to represent the football club. So still more around four or five more players need to leave, despite the fact a lot of players have left since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's rival. So we do need to see fundamental changes at the football club. I probably do agree with that. If we got rid of Solskjaer at this present time, or we got rid of him just before Christmas, obviously it wouldn't solve a lot of problems at the football club. I will agree on that. So maybe Solskjaer will probably should I say, will still be here by January. He probably could still be here at the end of the season. But one thing I can definitely ensure, he will not see out his 3-year contract at Manchester United, because obviously when he had got the job permanently, he had been given a 3-year contract at the Norwegian. But yeah, it was a very, very good performance, like I said, and I think that's the first time we've scored more than 1 goal at Old Trafford, since the opening day the Premier League season, when we did beat Chelsea by 4 goals to 0. But hopefully now, regarding this result, he can create a platform, and obviously it can give us something to build on. But I still believe anyway that Solskjaer is under intense pressure at the football club, obviously reflecting on the current position Man United are in, obviously reflecting on the 1-0 defeat to Bournemouth last weekend, and we've only won 3 of our opening 11 games in the Premier League, and we've only registered 13 points from a possible 33, and we know that's nowhere near good enough to our standards. Obviously like I said, if Man United, were to sack Solskjaer, obviously, it would be the fourth permanent manager sacked by Manchester United, since the Alex Ferguson era. Obviously, it's going to cost the club, to sack him. It's going to cost us. I think we'll have to pay, a substantial amount, to get rid of him. We probably won't have to pay as much as we did, to get rid of Jose Mourinho. But I think the board will stick with Solskjaer for now at least, and I think they've only stuck by him anywhere is because obviously he's a club legend and that he was a great long-serving player for Manchester United for 11 years. He flourished under Alex Ferguson's guidance. This is the only reason. Take out the equation of him being a club legend, or if it had been another manager, they would have been sacked by now. I do presume, but hopefully now we can we can, replicate the attacking form that was showed yesterday against Partizan Belgrade now on more of a regular basis. So it's good that, we scored 3 good goals yesterday. We created a chance in the game. Should have been arguably more than 3-0, to be quite honest with you. But that's something, we've been struggling to do for the vast majority of this season. We've been struggling to score goals. We've obviously, been struggling to create chances in that. And then in that aspect, that actually, replicates last season because last season, we didn't manage to score enough goals. But quite obvious, isn't it? There's still deficiencies in the squad that do need to be addressed. Obviously, next year, I think we're probably orchestrating on spending another substantial amount. I think in the next couple of windows, we're orchestrating on spending from at least from between 200 to 300 million pounds. I do actually believe we'll do the vast majority of our transfer business next summer. That's what I think we'll do, and I think we'll look to sign at least one player in January. But I think Solskjaer's orchestrating on I think he's going to try and bring 2 forwards in January. But anyway, next year Solskjaer has been assured he will be given money to spend. But Solskjaer has adjusted his January transfer plans like he's confirmed, but he insists the summer is his priority in that. But yeah, like I said, there is still deficiencies in the squad that do need to be addressed. So Man United definitely need a striker, someone that can come in that can assure us goals. We need to see more experience in that attacking line, someone who obviously can be more effective in the box. And we do need to recruit a replacement for Romelu Lukaku and Alexis Sanchez, because I did say since their departures from the football club, we have looked very exposed in that attacking line. Obviously now Anthony Martial and that does add he's back now from injury, so he adds a bit more inspiration in that attacking third in the pitch. Some people believe we do need 2 forwards. We definitely need to reinvest in that midfield because I've got element of concerns about our midfield. Some people believe we need 2 central midfielders. We definitely need to recruit a replacement for Ander Herrera. So I think they're the areas where Man United needs strengthening up. Some people arguably say that we do need a right winner, but there is a lot of players on our agenda who we could go in for next year. But we've got to improve now anywhere at some point, so we've got a better chance of getting the right calibre players we want to Manchester United now next year. And I did say over the course of the next 2 to 3 windows, at least maybe even more, overall, we have got to improve our recruitment, because our recruitment has been very poor for several years, not just recently, for several years. And I think, due to that, I think the board are definitely nowhere to blame. I think our board's a liability. And I think, our current board does need to go because you can't rely on them on our current board. And, the board for me, didn't back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer enough, during the course of the summer. And I think, we also, need to get rid of the board and that. Because like I said, they are a liability, and I said, the depth in our squad, isn't good enough. But I think the board did a show anyway at the start of this season that whatever the outcome this season, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job, should be safe. I think also Ed Woodward is a liability. He's compatible to the board because Ed Woodward has also been a liability for several years, and definitely due to our inconsistency for the vast majority of this season anyway, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has definitely been accountable for some of that, because for the vast majority of this season he has been tactically naive. Obviously some of his substitutions have been questionable and that. So yeah, he's definitely accountable for some of that. But I did say, there's some aspects of me, that do credit Solskjaer. I've got obviously, some element of concerns about him. Obviously these question marks around him. Why does he keep playing Ashley Young? Because you can quite frankly say, that Ashley Young has passed his sell by date. Young is obviously now 34. He's 35 next year. Young now is into his he's in his eighth season as a Man United. Well, his ninth season as a Man United player, but he has been here 8 years and that. But he still keeps getting selected on a regular basis. Does Ashley Young? He does keep getting selected on a regular basis. But the things I do credit Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for, like I said, he's got a lot of trustworthy in his young upcoming players and that. I think also Solskjaer salutes Martial, Rashford, and Mason Greenwood, obviously, reflecting on their impressive performances. Like I did say, we've got a lot of young players in the squad anywhere, that are developing and trying to improve at Man United. Can definitely assure that Greenwood will become a success, like I mentioned earlier on in the video. Brandon Williams, I think he'll also, become a success at the football club. Obviously, he didn't play yesterday, Brandon Williams. But Brandon Williams, I think, has played around 3 games for Manchester United this season. And I did say, reflecting on his impressive performances anywhere, he will earn more first team promotions. He is a left back. He's only 19 years of age. Obviously, a lot of Manchester United fans now do believe that is actually a better solution than Luke Shaw, despite the fact that Luke Shaw is our first choice left back. James Garner, I don't really have a perception on James Garner as yet. He hasn't really played enough for me to have a perception on him. But I thought he did well in the reverse fixture against Partizan Belgrade. When we did beat them by 1-0. Actually, in that particular game, he had made his full debut for the football club. Andres Pereira, I think he needs definitely more time at the football club because in some aspects of his game this season he has done really really well. I think Andres Pereira this season has played around 8 or 9 games, and obviously this season he has been operating in that playmaker's role. So I would give him more time at the football club. But like I said to you, I have got some element of concerns about certain young upcoming players. What I mean is I don't think all of them will become a success. So I think next year, we need to orchestrate maybe getting rid of them or, loaning some of them out. And if we could do that, that would be a good piece of business from the football club. I also credit Solskjaer in that 4 game period, when he did, obviously, when we showed a lot of tactical flexibility, so I did credit him for that. He also recommended 3 good players to the squad during the summer. Obviously we spent, a substantial amount. We spent around £148 million on Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and on Harry Maguire. And like I've said, they've all enjoyed fantastic starts to their Manchester United careers. Some will arguably say that Wan-Bissaka has been one of our most consistent signings so far. But I did say if Wan-Bissaka, does keep the consistency up, then I think he's, then I think his valuation will persistently grow. And Harry Maguire, you can say he's addressed our defensive deficiencies. I will agree on the aspects that Man United did overpay for Harry Maguire. Obviously, we paid £80 million for him. Obviously, he's the most expensive defender in the world and the second most expensive signing at the football club. But he has delivered the goods to Manchester United and that. But we know in recent years anyway, for overpaying for players. Obviously, a lot of money's been invested into the football club in the last 6 or 7 years in all the managerial eras since the Ferguson era. As Solskjaer confirmed that he's obviously arrested Daniel James and that. Obviously, Daniel James, didn't play yesterday. Obviously, Solskjaer is concerned over his fatigue at Manchester United because I think, he's obviously been a consistent starter this season, since we got him from Swansea. But you can say that obviously, Man United have overplayed Daniel James. I think this season, Daniel James has played 18 times, for our club and country. Obviously, he's played around 15 times for Manchester United, and I think he's played around just short of 900 minutes of Premier League football this season. But Daniel James has done really, really well this season. I do presume he should play on Sunday, or Solskjaer may consider resting him again. But maybe there's still some aspects of Daniel James's game that he does need to improve on. Maybe his crossing needs to improve, maybe his finishing maybe needs to improve. But prior to that, he's done he's all right, and I still say you'd still classify Daniel James as a prospect, and you've got to obviously give him more time to develop, because he is only 21 years of age. But I'm actually surprised. I'm surprised, at Daniel James, because I didn't think he'd have settled in as quick, as he has done, because don't forget he'd taken a huge step in his career, coming all the way from the Championship to the Premier League and that. And I'm surprised. I am really, really surprised. But credit all them, who we brought in during the summer, where they have done really, really well. The only shame was during the summer that we couldn't address all the problematic areas. I don't think we'll address all the problematic areas in January. I think we'll look to get an attacker in January. Then maybe probably next summer we'll look to get a couple of midfielders in and that. But definitely a massive rebuild is needed at Manchester United. But you can still quite frankly say Solskjaer is still in the process of rebuilding this Manchester United team anyway, because obviously analysing the majority of this Man United team, it isn't Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's. The vast majority of this team is Jose Mourinho's, because Jose Mourinho recommended 11 players into the football club. Now obviously Solskjaer is still inheriting the vast majority of them. Then obviously you've got still some players here from the Louis van Gaal era. The vast majority of the players that Louis van Gaal recommended in have obviously now left, but some of them are still here, like I mentioned. Obviously Shaw's still here, Martial's still here. Shaw's still here, Martial's still here and that. So these quite still a few of them here. Obviously, still Matt Arriva from the David Moyes era. There's still a couple of players here from the Alex Ferguson era. So some people are still saying, we should still give Solskjaer at least a couple more windows, to see who else, he can recommend in to the football club. I think Solskjaer he's keen on continuing the policy of recruiting young British players, like he did do during the course in the summer. And actually, in that aspect, he's compatible to Sir Alex Ferguson. He hasn't obviously got Alex Ferguson's philosophy in that, but in that aspect, he's compatible to him, because obviously, he wants to, continue the pursuit of of recruiting young players, like obviously Ferguson did, because obviously Ferguson, developed a lot of young players at Manchester United and that. But yeah, but we have still got quite a lot of injuries anyway. Obviously, some players have now regained their full fitness. Obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is hopeful that more players will be back from injury after the international break. This is what he has confirmed. We do obviously prior to the game against Partizan Belgrade. That obviously, Lindelof was out, so Lindelof, wasn't involved in the game. So Lindelof, I think, should be available for Sunday, but I don't know how severe his injury is. Lindelof obviously sustained a knock in the 2-1 win against Chelsea in the Carabao Cup. I think for the vast majority of this season, Lindelof has done really, really well, and he's actually blended in alongside Harry Maguire fantastically well. But for me, Lindelof is flourishing as a Manchester United player. He's actually no comparison, Lindelof and that and Fred, to the three signs we brought in, because Lindelof didn't settle in straight away when he first came. Obviously, Fred hasn't settled in as much as yet, but I said, I would still give, Fred more time at the football club. But Lindelof is dramatically improving, so I have, been very, very impressed with him. Obviously, Solskjaer did confirm as well that Tuanzebe, it's very probable list that Tuanzebe, Matic and Luke Shaw should all be back after the international break. Obviously, Matic has been out over minor problem. Matic has obviously initially lost his place in the team anywhere, mainly due to his inconsistency. And even though we haven't yet, reinvested in that midfield, I do believe now any of our midfield options are better options anywhere than the Nemanja Matic. I'd say Matic is his two requirements for the football club, and I think he's one of the players we need to consider getting rid of next year. Again, we overpaid for him. We paid around £40 million for him from Chelsea, but for me, I've got so many element of concerns about him. His first touch is abysmal. He's too slow. Makes that midfielder look totally imbalanced. So if we could get rid of him next year, that would be a good business from the football club. With Luke Shaw, like I said, he's been out of a hamstring injury. He hasn't played since the 2-1 home defeat to Crystal Palace. You could probably arguably say that, Luke Shaw has been a big miss in that, because we do know the difference he does make on that left-hand side, when he is on form. Obviously won the double player of the season last season, reflecting on his impressive performances. But Solskjaer revealed not too long ago that he was closer to returning to the squad and that. But he should be back after the international break. And with Tuanzebe, I don't really have any element of concerns about him, because I think, in the games he's played in this season, he has done really, really well. Don't forget, Tuanzebe has been out over hip injury. His versatility is very, very good. His Tuanzebe is predominantly a centre-back, but can also play as a full-back. But we have got quite a few versatile defenders. Diego Dalot, I'm not too sure about him. I think it's unknown, when he's going to be back in contention, Diego Dalot. He obviously has sustained quite a few injuries this season. Obviously, he's one of our backup options with that right back position. But I do believe he'll obviously get more opportunities. When he does regain full fitness. Diego Dalot. As Solskjaer confirmed, Paul Pogba. Obviously, he's out until December, so he's out for at least another month. Paul Pogba's obviously had an ongoing ankle injury that's been surrounding the player for a number of weeks now. And obviously his injury that he's got is obviously more severe than we obviously know first feared. And don't get me wrong, Paul Pogba has been a big miss in that midfield, because we do know when he's on form, we do know the difference he can make in that midfield. And we really saw the best of Paul Pogba in that 3-month period when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was the interim manager. But you can say, since Paul Pogba anyway rejoined from Juventus back in 2016, he's mainly enjoyed a difficult time at Man United, in comparison to his time in Turin. But I still believe Paul Pogba does want out of the football club next year, and I still believe his preference is a move to Real Madrid, like it was for the entirety of the summer, basically. But Solskjaer did confirm anyway, that Fred, will take Paul Pogba's position for him while this is obviously what he has confirmed. So he's basically relying on the likes of Fred and McTominay, to deliver the goods in our midfield. And to be fair, I think they have from my own perception. But with the amount of injuries we've had in the squad anyway, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has had to make alterations. But, I know our league form, has been very, very poor this season. But, I can give you some positives in that. We're now into the knockout stages of the Europa League. We've registered 10 points from a possible 12, 2 games to go. I think we've got the 2 games are Alkmaar at home and what's the other one? Alkmaar at home and FC Astana away, and then that's it. And the good news is as well, we are into the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup. We have got Colchester in the next round. I definitely do presume that Manchester United, should beat Colchester. I think it is actually now at Old Trafford. So you could say we've got a good chance of winning the Carabao Cup. There's actually still quite a few decent teams in it though. Like I said, very, very good result against Chelsea in the 4th round. Rashford scoring from the penalty spot and scoring an absolutely sublime 3 kick. And Solskjaer has overcome Frank Lampard twice this year. yes, he has overcome Frank Lampard twice this year. We've also beaten Chelsea 3 times this year in total. And with last 2 visits, we've beaten them at Stamford Bridge, believe it or not, because overall our record at Stamford Bridge is actually now abysmal. But Chelsea have actually rejuvenated themselves anywhere in the league, and that I think they've won their last 8 or 9 games, something like that in the league. But yeah, so that's something you can also take into account. But yeah, so like I did give you the news yesterday, regarding Ralph Rangnick. I think that's his name, Ralph Rangnick. Yeah, he's currently head of sport and development at RP Leipzig now. Reportedly, it did say there was a lot of media outlets yesterday saying that Man United had travelled to Germany, to meet up with Ralph Rangnick, and actually, Ed Woodward had scheduled this meeting. Now, I don't think he'll come to Man United, but there's obviously just been a lot of rumours about it going on. Obviously he's linked with a vacant director's role at Man United. There was also talks about him, possibly replacing Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at the football club. Now, I think if he was to come in, if there was any chance of him coming in, that is, I think it would be a lot more imminent that he would get a position of being a director at Man United rather than being a manager. And I think we need to get a director of footballing. And like I did say, I think that's one of the structural changes that we do need in the football club. And it was a shame during the course of the summer that we didn't get a director of footballing. But because I did say if we are to recommend one in, we need to bring one in. We need to bring one in who knows, the traditions of the club, someone who knows the club inside out, like I've just said, someone who would be reliable to obviously our transfer business, and someone who's obviously got the right philosophy for the club, so they can obviously bring the right caliber players in. During the summer, the likes of Darren Fletcher, Patrice Evra, and Rio Ferdinand were linked with the role. Obviously, there was speculation quite a few weeks back now about Edwin van der Sar, possibly becoming the new director of football at Man United and that. But you could arguably say if we'd got that director of football in during the summer, then maybe in that aspect, Solskjaer would have been backed more, but we didn't. But yeah, so there has been talks about Ralph, Rangnick from RP Leipzig. I don't see this, happening anywhere, to be quite honest with you. But I think Ed Woodward anywhere is keen on recommending a new, director of footballing, like he did actually reveal not too long ago. Like I said, though, there has been a variety of managers on our agenda, who could replace Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at the football club. We know there's still ongoing speculation about Max Allegri. And this, it does continue to persist, this speculation about Max Allegri and that. Obviously, Max Allegri is linked with quite a few, managerial roles. He's linked with the Bayern Munich job. He's linked with the Bayern Munich job because obviously the Bayern Munich job at the moment is vacant. Well, the managerial role is vacant because obviously recently Bayern Munich have just sacked Niko Kovac. Due to reflect on their 5-1 defeat to Frankfurt. I think there would also talks about taking the mantle on at Arsenal, but he's obviously as well linked with Manchester United. He's Max Allegri now. Obviously, different Manchester United fans. Obviously, will have different perceptions on Max Allegri in that, some believe he would be the right candidate, some believe, he wouldn't be the right candidate and that. But Max Allegri, obviously, he's only been managerless since the end of last season. Obviously, he resigned as Juventus manager at the end of last season. Obviously, he did have a 5-year tenure with Juventus. Obviously, he won the vast majority of his silverware with Juventus. He also progressed Juventus to 2 Champions League finals. And obviously I think he's recently, been learning English in preparation for his potential move. Because obviously, so far Max Allegri has spent the entirety of his managerial career in Italy. Obviously started, managing small various Italian clubs and obviously then emulated himself up. He also, spent the entirety of his playing career in Italy. So he's getting to know more, a bit more about England. I think he's around 52 years of age is Max Allegri. He said quite a few weeks back though he was in discussions with Manchester United regarding what salary he would earn if he was to be recommended into the club. He also did assure quite a few things as well. He wanted to reportedly bring Patrice Evra in as one of his coaching staff. He also wanted to bring Mario Mandzukic and Emre Can to the football club. But some people believe if we recommended Max Allegri, that Man United would win the league within the next 2 to 3 years. This is what some people believe. So I don't know if he's our primary candidate now, but he was quiet a few weeks back. Obviously, I think Pochettino is also on our current agenda. Don't forget, we was in for Pochettino after the sacking of Jose Mourinho. In December of last year, we went in for Pochettino. He was actually our top priority. But like I said, at the time we went in for Pochettino, obviously. Obviously, he had no intentions of leaving Tottenham, and like he added into the equation, Daniel Levy is a hard negotiator, basically. But obviously you've got Pochettino now that he's under intense pressure at Tottenham. Obviously, reflecting on their bad start to the season, because they've enjoyed a really, really difficult start to the season, and some people believe that Pochettino would be the right candidate for Manchester United. You could arguably say do a better job than Solskjaer, because Pochettino is obviously well Premier League proven. He's good at developing young players. The only element of concern I've got about Pochettino is that he hasn't won out in terms of silverware, so that's the element of concern. Pochettino's been at Tottenham now for 5 years, but he's now into his 6th season with them. So I think he's had a good 4.5, 5 years or so with Tottenham. Obviously, he's enjoyed them a bad time this season so far with them, but prior to that, he's done well. He also before that had really a good short tenure with Southampton, and before he was at Southampton, he obviously was Espanyol. So he's got that managerial experience. Obviously, he's been managing now for just over a decade, because Pochettino began his managerial career in 2009. But yeah, I think if we had to go reignite our interest anywhere, I think we'll have to probably pay around £32 million in compensation, despite the fact that I don't think Pochettino's got a release clause in his contract. He signed a 5-year contract, I think, in the summer of 2018 with around £8.5 million a year. But don't forget, after the sacking of Jose Mourinho, also Zinedine Zidane was on our agenda. But obviously, our preference was just Solskjaer over them, because we saw it as Solskjaer was a cheaper solution, and also he knows the traditions and that of the football club. But Solskjaer overall has been at Man United now for around 11 months overall, including the time when he was interim manager, but he's been permanent manager for around 8 months or so, as Solskjaer can say. Obviously, for the majority of this 8 months, he has enjoyed a very, very difficult time. He's enjoyed a very, very difficult time, and that, and obviously, it's totally comparison, to what I saw, whilst he was the interim manager, because obviously during that 3-month period when he was the interim manager, everything, went well. The results were good, the performances were good, he got all the best out of these group of players, and, he exceeded expectations in that, and obviously, my overarching view on Solskjaer then, I thought he was the right manager for Man United, but obviously over the course of this 8-month period or so, obviously my perceptions have started to change regarding Solskjaer. Definitely, they have started to change. But Solskjaer hasn't really got that managerial experience, and that's another element of concern I have got about him. He to me just doesn't have any intuition on how to manage a big football club like Manchester United. And like I recently mentioned, I think the expectations are too high for me here. Maybe I could be proven wrong, and I hope I'm wrong. To be quite honest with you. But obviously before I came to Man United, he was at Mould. Obviously, before he was at Mould, he was at Cardiff, and obviously, during his time with Cardiff, I don't think he won that many games, but he only managed around 29 or 30 games for Cardiff, and he got sacked from Cardiff because obviously, he ended up getting Cardiff. He ended up getting Cardiff relegated. This is why he got sacked. And some Man United fans fear, that he could replicate, Man United, what he actually, did do with Cardiff. But I don't think Man United will go down anywhere. Too much money into the football club. Obviously, the clubs are too big, basically. But like I recently mentioned, reflect on the size and the potential of this football club. We should be in much more commanding a position, than winning now. So, but things do need to turn around. But I still definitely believe we'll stick with Solskjaer for now at least. I think Man United have made several mistakes in the last 6 or 7 years, and I think one of those mistakes was obviously recently giving Solskjaer the job. We should have never given him the job, basically. We give him it too soon, in my opinion. We should have waited until the end of last season, or we should have waited at some point until this season to decide or not, whether to give him the job. But yeah, that was a mistake from the football club. You could arguably say that us getting rid of Ander Herrera, was also a mistake from Man United. But like I said, I want Solskjaer to last at Man United, and I want his tenure to become successful because, Solskjaer's our 4th permanent manager since the Ferguson era. And, like I do keep saying, we haven't really, got the structure to keep sacking managers, despite the fact we've already sacked 3 managers since the Alex Ferguson era. Obviously, Moyes left after 10 months. He had a really short tenure with the football club, did David Moyes, and that's a mistake Ferguson made, and the only mistake he made was obviously recommending David Moyes in. And then obviously Louis van Gaal lasted like over a year. He won the FA Cup, but obviously still ended up getting the sack because his philosophy wasn't right for the club. And then obviously Mourinho got sacked after he enjoyed a 2.5 year tenure at Manchester United. Despite the fact he won the Europa League and the League Cup in his first season there with the football club. I already give you the variety of reasons why it didn't work out under the Jose Mourinho era, because obviously he had bad disputes with the board, bad disputes with some of the top players, well, all the top players should I say, or the vast majority of them. The board weren't backing the signs that he wanted to recommend into the football club last summer. And you could arguably say that we recommended Jose Mourinho in too late. You could arguably say we should have recommended him in after Alex Ferguson's retirement, and that's what Manchester United should have done. But we got him in too late. Mourinho is one of the best managers in the world. Reflecting on the success he's had, obviously he's got a good pedigree. He's won stuff and that everywhere he's been, and I think in total he's won 25 major honours so far as a manager. But so they're the reasons it didn't work out under Jose Mourinho. Would you now take Jose Mourinho back at Man United? Obviously, the vast majority of Man U fans would say no. It would actually be interesting to see now if we could actually try and get Ferguson back, and it'd be interesting to see now how Manchester United would do. But obviously, we know that it's not going to happen. But obviously, it is a prime example, basically. But like I said to you anyway, Solskjaer has got around 5 transfer targets on his agenda for next year. Who is interested, in recommending him to the football club. Like I said, very probable we're going to sign Mario Mandzukic in January. That's looking very, very probable. And I think he's going to be our first signing in January, our 4th signing overall under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. But the good thing is, that Mario Mandzukic is a cheaper solution. I think Juventus only want around 9 or 10 million pounds for him. Obviously, I think Man United are prepared to hand him around an 18-month contract, but he's a good goal scorer, he can lead the lines. But my only element of concern I've got about is recommending him in. He is 33 years of age, so you could arguably say he's only got a couple of years left in his footballing career. But, since the recommendation of Maurizio Sarri, obviously, he hasn't played a single minute under his guidance as far as I'm aware. And this is why he's served his 2 requirements at Juventus. He's now into his 5th season, by the way, as Juventus player. For Juventus, he has scored 44 goals in 162 games in all competitions. He's a good adequate replacement for Lukaku. Obviously, he's in a long-term replacement for Lukaku. So that's one of the players on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's agenda. And he slashed his wage demands the other week from 300 grand a week to 150 grand a week in order to make the move to Manchester United in January. Obviously, we've got Moussa Dembele on our agenda. I think again, he would be the right caliber player for Manchester United. Obviously, I am aware that it will cost the club a substantial amount of money. We'll probably have to pay in the excess of around 60 or 70 million pounds for him. Moussa Dembele is an out-and-out number 9. But I think the beneficial thing is as well that he's played in the Premier League because, he began his senior career with Fulham when he was younger. Also then had a good couple of years with Celtic. And he's also done well so far with Lyon. I think now he's into his second season with Lyon. But if he comes to Man United, I definitely think he can replicate Man United, what he has done with them teams, and he's still only 23 years of age. But yeah, Jadon Sancho, he's on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's agenda. Man United have been, long admirers of Jadon Sancho. We was in for him during the summer. We also identified him as our number one priority target in January, but obviously we didn't get Jadon Sancho. Obviously I think our move got screwed for him basically, due to our failure to qualify for the Champions League. I think Jadon Sancho definitely, I can assure, would be the right caliber player for Man United, and I think he would fit our system perfectly. And I would be excited about the prospects of Jadon Sancho playing alongside the likes of Daniel James, Martial, and Rashford and that. And Jadon Sancho is a player that can score goals, he can create chances. He's primarily a right winger, but can also play him centrally. Only 19 years of age. But basically, Borussia Dortmund got him for next to no. They only paid around £8 million for him from Man City, or was it £7 million, one of them. But obviously, analysing the couple of years he's been with Dortmund, reflect on his impressive performances, his valuation has persistently grown. So if we go in for him next year, I do believe he's going to cost Man United in the excess of around £100 million, which is obviously now a substantial amount, even though we've got the financial power to meet that valuation. But he left Man City because he didn't get assured enough first-team opportunities. I think he only served a couple of years with Man City, but he's under contract with Borussia Dortmund until 2022. So yeah, he's another player on our agenda. Obviously, James Maddison, another player on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's agenda. I think he would dramatically improve his in that midfield with James Maddison. But he's well Premier League proven. He's done really, really well with Leicester. Last season, he created more chances there than any other player in the Premier League. So that just indicates how he's really good at creating chances. Can score goals. His work ethic's good. He's stability is also very, very good. He's James Maddison's, and he's only 22 years of age. I think he's still got around 4 years left on his current contract with Leicester. Leicester paid around £20 million for him from Norwich last summer. But if we go in for him next year, then I think we'll probably have to pay around 60 or 70 million. Maybe we'll have to pay somewhere similar to what we paid for Harry Maguire, because we did business with Leicester during the course in the summer. So it's good anyway, that we are making plans for January and of course next summer. But Paul Scholes now obviously he had his analysis on the game yesterday. I think he's got an idea now of what Man United's best starting 11 is. Do you know our best starting 11? I have actually got a slight idea of what our best starting 11 is. I think regarding the formation, we do go with that 4-2-3-1 on a regular basis, which we've done this season. On the other occasion, I think we've gone with the 4-3-3, but especially during that 4-game period, we looked very, very good with 3 at the back. Like I said, we look good with a 3-4-1-2 or the 3-5-2. Yeah, and there's nothing much really more to say. Manchester United Brighton preview will be coming up. That probably will be today. I do presume that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be doing his press conference reaction tomorrow, building up to that game. I don't think there'll be much news to really update on apart from Lindelof and that, and McTominay, where I think prior to that there won't be much more to update on, because like the vast majority of the other players that are injured, are expected back after the international break. Obviously Bay's still out until the end of the year. Also, Fossil Mentu is obviously still out. Yeah, so very, very good performance for Manchester United, yesterday. Very, very delighted about that. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do consider subscribe, as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.